This particular problem says that we have 50 milliliters of NH3, and we know that that is a weak base. And we're going to be titrating that with 1 molar hydrochloric acid, which we know is a strong acid. So you have a weak base, a strong acid titration. When we think about like what does that titration look like, if I were to graph it, we start at a high pH, not as high as strong though, and it comes down a little bit, and then at equivalence, we are going to be lower than neutral, okay? And there's 4 points on this graph that we need to be able to plot and do calculations for at the beginning, before the titration begins, at our half equivalence, at our equivalence, and then when we over titrate. So we've added too much, okay? And we should be able to do those calculations for strong, and weak, strong as well. So anytime you're doing a problem, you want to kind of have this graph in mind. Where am I in my titration? So that once you get your answer for your final pHs, you can see if your answer indeed makes sense or not. Okay, so for all of these problems, it is asking me, by the way, in the end, to calculate pH. So I'm finding the pH at these 4 points of my titration. All right, so let's begin. So first I want to find what is the pH when I've added none of my hydrochloric acid. So what that's really asking is, what is my H3O plus concentration of my original base? Okay, so I want to think about when I have a weak base, what is its equilibrium in water? So I have my NH3. When it is in water, it does create that equilibrium, and I'm going to make NH4 plus and OH minus. I am going to ionize here into ammonium, which is its conjugate acid, and I'm also going to make those OH minus ions in solution. When I'm thinking about an equilibrium system, I think about an ICE table. And when I do an ICE table, initial change equilibrium, those are always in terms of molarity. Okay, so what I'm really wondering is, what is the molarity once it reaches equilibrium for my OH minus? Because then I could then calculate my H plus or my H3O plus and then find that pH. Okay, so I need the molarity of my starting solution. It is 1.000 molar. And originally, I don't have any of these other things. I'm going to lose some amount of that. I will create some amount of those ions. So some of it's going to ionize, and I get 1.000 molar minus X. And these are just X. What I'm really trying to find, remember, is this one, this OH minus concentration. So for that one, I will use my Kb value, which was given, and I will set up that Kb equation. So Kb equals 1.8 times 10 to the negative fifth. It's equal to my products over reactants, so I have X squared over, and I'm just going to put this 1.000 molar, and I'm going to ignore this value of X. We're going to assume less than 5% dissociation there. So when I calculate this, I get, so 1 times 1.8 times 10 to the negative fifth. And then I'm going to take the square root of that, and I get X is equal to 0.00424 molar OH minus. So I could take the negative log of that, and that will give me a pOH of 2.37. Again, the question wanted pH though, so if I do 14 minus 2.37, I get 11.63. So that is my pH at the beginning of my titration right over here. So this is 11.63. Okay. All right, now, great. I did all of that and it was supposed to fit in that really tiny space. And it didn't. Let's try to shrink it down and put it back. Okay, beautiful. All right, so now I'll do the next one in a different color. So now we're going to add 25 milliliters of my HCl, okay, to my weak base. Okay, so I was only base. Now I've added a little bit of my acid. I've neutralized half of the base molecules, and now I'm at half equivalence. At half equivalence, you should know that the pKb is equal to the pOH. It does make your calculations a little bit easier. Otherwise, you can also use your Henderson-Hasselbalch equation at that point, and you will end up getting the same answer because the log of the base over the acid at the end of that Henderson-Hasselbalch equation ends up just falling out of the equation since the base and the acid are the same concentration at that point. Okay, so when I do these calculations, I need to think about, how much was neutralized, and then I am producing a salt that also has acidic properties. And so I have to keep that in mind as well, because once I reach this half equivalence, another important thing I need to remember is I've created a buffer. So anytime we add a strong acid to a weak base, as long as our strong acid is less than our concentration of our weak base, we have a buffer. So it's at its maximum buffering capacity right there at that half equivalence point because the concentration of the conjugate and the base are equal. In order to figure out how much was neutralized, I want to write the neutralization reaction. So I have HCl plus my weak base, which is NH3. In this case, I write a forward arrow only because I am neutralizing that base. And when I neutralize it, I make NH4Cl and HOH, which is water. Okay. Sometimes you'll see that we leave out our Cl minus because it's a spectator ion, and we leave out our water because it's not really part of our neutralization calculation. But for now, I'm going to leave it. Okay, so I want to do an ICF table because I need to figure out how many moles of my base remain, how many moles of my NH4 plus ion I've produced, because I will need that to do my buffer calculation. So when I do ICF table, those are in terms of moles, not molarity. Find my initial value. So for my HCl, I have 1 molar HCl, and it says I've added 25 milliliters. So 1 molar times 0.0250 liters is 0.0250 moles. That's what we had. And then for my base, there's 50 milliliters of it initially, and it's 1 molar. So this liter times molarity, I get 0.0500 moles. And then initially, I don't have any salt. I didn't add any in there. And the water, again, is not really part of our calculation. All right, so I want to think, how much did I neutralize? In terms of the change, I'm going to use that 0.0250. And then I'm going to add that 0.0250 here. And then my final, I don't have any acid. I have half of my base left, which makes sense because I'm at half the equivalence point. And now I've added 0.0250 moles of my conjugate acid as well. So this is a buffer. When I'm thinking about pH, I'm thinking about that Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, which is pH is equal to pKa plus the log of my conjugate base over my weak acid. And these are molarities. Again, if I recognize that these are equal concentrations, though, my pH is equal to my pKa. So really, at this point, I don't need to find my concentrations because I know if I have the same number of moles, it's going to be the same concentrations because they're mixed in the same container so that they have the same volume. So what I really need to do is take the negative log of that Ka, which we don't currently have. I do know that the Kb is 1.8 times 10 to the negative fifth. So I can do the negative log of 1 times 10 to the negative 14th, which is that Kw, that constant for water, divided by that constant, 1.8 times 10 to the negative fifth. And when I do that, I got 5.5 times 10 to the negative 10th for my Ka. You know, that might just be something we want. Ka is equal to 5.56 times 10 to the negative 10th. And then our negative log of that, I get a pH of 9.26. Okay, wow, so that's a lot. Okay, when I think about where I am again, that was this part right here, this half equivalence, where my pKb is equal to pOH, and my pKa is equal to pH. Okay, so now I am at 50 milliliters. When I think about where I am in my titration, I'm gonna erase some of this. Where am I in my titration? Well, I had 1 molar base and 1 molar acid. So if I had 50 mils of base, this is going to be neutral. I guess I shouldn't say neutral because we have this weak. This is going to be at equivalence once we have added 50 milliliters of the acid. And I know that because that's when the moles will be equal. Well, notice that's what we're adding right here, 50 milliliters of that acid. So that is going to take me to my third point, which is at equivalence. Okay, if this was a strong acid and strong base titration at equivalence, my pH is 7. I wouldn't even need to do a calculation. But for this one, I do because I have this salt, this NH4 plus, that's going to ionize and it's going to make that H3O plus in solution. So I am going to have to do a little bit more for these. So that's why we call these, you know, summiting to the top of the mountain, because they are a little bit more involved. All right, so at 50 milliliters, I am neutral. I do need to know how much of that conjugate I have made. I shouldn't keep saying neutral. I've reached equivalence for my acid and my base, but I need to know how much NH4 plus I've made because that is going to dictate my pH. I have, again, my HCl plus my NH3. I'm going to neutralize that and make this NH4 plus. And I guess I don't really need the rest of the equation. And really, I don't even need the Cl, to be honest. I could kind of leave that part out. So when I do my ICF table, I do want moles. We already decided this was this was 0.0500 moles. For my acid, I've added a different amount now. Now I've added 50 milliliters, and I know it is 1 molar. So 50 milliliters, 0.05 liters, times that 1 molar is 0.0500 moles of my acid as well. Initially, there is no salt. I will use all of this acid and base, and I will make 0.0500 moles of that conjugate. At this point, I do not have a buffer because I no longer have the weak base. And you do need the weak base and the conjugate acid in order to have a buffer. In order to find the pH, I need to know how much H3O plus this is making in solution. So to do that, I need to write my hydrolysis equation. So this was kind of like part 1. So I want to write that hydrolysis of NH4 plus with water. And in water, this is an equilibrium, and it's going to make H3O plus, and it's going to make NH3. So I have now, for my equation, I have this many moles. When I think about per liter, because we need molarity for our ICE tables, the amount of liters right now is 50 milliliters of that acid. And then I also have 50 milliliters of the base. So I have a total of 100 milliliters or 0.1 liters. And then the moles that I have is 0.0500. So 0.05 divided by 0.1, and I get 0.5. Zero. And I guess, yes. No water, and none of these initially either. Then this is going to lose some amount. We're going to gain some amount here. At equilibrium, we have 0.5 minus x. We have x and x. We are going to ignore this value of x. In order to figure out what the concentration of H3O plus is at this point, I have to go use my Ka equation. Ka is equal to x squared over 0.5. My Ka value we said earlier was 5.56 times 10 to the negative 10th is equal to x squared over 0.5. So that 5.56 times 10 to the negative 10th. When we take the square root of that, I get x is 1.67 times 10 to the negative 5th. This is the concentration of H3O plus. If I take the negative log of that, that will give me pH, and I get then a pH value of 4.778 at this point. Notice this is less than 7, so it's not quite neutral because of the hydrolysis that happens with the conjugate acid of my weak base.